Alright, I've put off making this video for long enough. It's not a video I want to make, but I feel morally obligated to make it. I've also been dealing with extreme technical issues that I have no idea how to fix, so that's been slowing things down as well. Today we're going to talk about the channel Shadiversity. He recently made this video, YouTube is an unfair platform that hates most creators and it's getting worse, more evidence. After listening to this, it led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole when it came to Shadiversity, and I feel like I have to call it out. Now, one thing I'm going to get out of the way really early here is those technical difficulties I mentioned. One of them is my webcam's not working, so I know people are going to accuse me of not wanting to show my face on this video, so I'm just going to insert a video recording I took on my phone just to show that I'm not scared to do it. It is just I have technical issues and I don't understand how to fix them. All right, here I am, actually using my phone camera of all things. Can't believe that my webcam has decided to crap out right at this time. It's very annoying. I think it's because it's really old and I have a Ryzen system, which always has USB issues. Moving on. So, the video itself isn't the problem. Not this specific video. Like, he actually has an honest case here. Basically, he's going to talk about his channel wasn't doing well lately, and he has a bunch of evidence to point to YouTube isn't recommending his videos, which, of course, that is something that happens. I will say that what I've noticed is there was a lot of channels that had a lot of trouble last month. It wasn't just his channel. It wasn't just, he also claims that it's like swords channels and stuff that are having this issue. Globally, I saw like a lot of channels struggling last month, including my own. I only have one video that does anything, but it slumped last month too, and it has nothing to do with like swords or anything. So while he has an honest point here, I do think he was possibly shifting the blame that was kind of just a global problem YouTube was having into being more of a specific problem, but that isn't really the issue with this video. Let me go try to find the point in the video I want to bring up. And yeah, this is like a 42-minute video, so I'm not going to play the entire thing, but I am going to try to show you one of his points here. This is like the sword point.
As to who it chooses to target with the prioritization, that I've no friggin' idea. Is it because swords, weapons, associated with violence? It very well might be. I don't know. I have another channel called Night's Watch.
This is the part that really got my attention and got me going down this rabbit hole,
which is actually getting more subscribers daily at the moment than Shadiversity. Night's Watch is a more politically outspoken channel. I'm a conservative, okay, and I'm very open about my conservative, I have a bias on that channel. And one of the reasons I did it was to separate those political views from Shadiversity. I've always wanted Shadiversity to be apolitical.
Okay, so this is what gave me the red flag that maybe I should do a little bit more research. He has done a very good job of keeping politics out of Shadiversity for the most part. There was a video a long time ago, and we'll get more into this later into the video here, where he brought up something that sent off another red flag, but I didn't really look into it at that time. But I'm like, okay, so he's saying on this Night's Watch channel, he's more politically active. And the reason he's bringing this up is he's saying the Night's Watch is doing better than Shadiversity is, as far as growth is concerned. So he's saying sharing his political opinions might not be what is harming his channels, which fair enough. But I'm like, okay, I want to know what he actually thinks. I'm going to go to his Night's Watch channel and see what he actually thinks about things. Because, if he's just a little bit conservative, I don't care. If he's an extremist, though, I've got a problem. I can't watch his content in good faith. In fact, the last time I tried to record this, like, ooh, he just reposted that. That probably reflects pretty badly on him. But the one that I clicked on just to see, because I knew there was a controversy in this movie, the Buzz Lightyear movie. There was a gay kiss in it. It was very short as far as I've heard. I haven't watched it. He hasn't watched it either, by the way. So he's just sharing his opinion on a movie he hasn't watched. From what I heard, it was a bad movie on its own merits. The problem is it's not really the other merits that he's talking about here, because he didn't watch it to review those merits. He's just commenting on the gay kiss. So let's click on it. All right, so let me find the point in the video that's the problem. Okay, it actually starts with Oz here. Oz, he's the one on the left. He is actually even more scary than Shad is, to be honest with you. But we're going to start with him here, because Shad's going to respond to him, and they're going to play off each other. So,
gay kiss. And I think I can understand that perspective, being very conservative Christian as well.
Yeah, well, it's simple, right? What percentage of people are what percentage of parents, rather, are very conservative, all right? What percentage of parents are gay or in a same-sex relationship or trans? Very small percentages, right? What percentage of parents don't like any of that. Like the majority of parents are conservative. Becoming a parent, usually by nature, makes you conservative.
Okay, so, no, my mom is liberal Democrat. My dad is liberal Democrat. My grandma is liberal Democrat. So him just saying that like every parent is conservative is just absurdly not true to an extreme degree. Is it like a small plurality? Probably. But this is sort of an ongoing thing that they go through here where they speak in such broad general terms that just aren't true, but they try to pass it off as true facts. And then Shad agrees with them here.
It's interesting. There's some truth to what you're saying there, Oz.
So do you think parents are going to take their kids to this? No.
But
Most parents don't care.
also, it's just the nature. Even if you don't have any kind of Christian objection to homosexual lifestyles and stuff like that, okay? Exposing young children to the complex discussions and natures of different sexual attractions and stuff like that, they're kids. They shouldn't even be thinking about this stuff, right?
This is what got me. This is like, I was like, uh-oh, we have a problem here, like a serious problem. It's not complicated. Love is love. You just say, oh, sometimes boys like boys and sometimes girls like girls, and that's all you have to say. You don't have to get into any more detail than that. If you are completely okay with a straight couple kissing on television or in movies and what have you, then what's the difference between that and the gay kiss? You're the one who makes it more complicated for them by trying to say that there is some kind of difference going on here when there's not. Love is love.
It goes into the nature versus nurture argument. I mentioned even in a recent video, there's new evidence out, okay, where the percentage rates of people adopting same-sex attraction and gender dysphoria in ultra, progressive, extreme left households, everything is crazy higher than other households.
Okay, so a few things to unpack here as well. For one thing, nature versus nurture doesn't really hold much water. Like, you should nurture your kids. Nurture just means raising your children in a positive way. And yes, of course, in a more liberal household, the rates of their children growing up to have LGBTQ plus views and interests is going to be a lot higher, because you know what? When you're in a conservative household, they're going to beat you. They're going to tell you, the Bible says that's wrong. You're going to go to hell if you behave this way. They're going to send you to Bible camp to be indoctrinated into their belief system. So of course, kids growing up in conservative households aren't going to come out that way, because they're not being given the chance to think for themselves.
And it goes into some interesting things that we have brought up in previous videos, like our Wheel of Time coverage, right? Where I said a basic truth about straight people.
I don't know who died and made Shad the king of straight people. I'm actually a straight white male. I'm just a good ally to my LGBTQ friends. So let's see what he has to say, and I can rule in as a straight male of what he's trying to say here.
And it's that straight men, find gay sex repulsive. People are...
This is where I lost it. Like, absolutely lost it. Like, okay, now I have to make this video. Repulsive is an incredibly strong word. That means you find it horrific. That means you find it terrible. That means you find it like gut-wrenching. And it's like, no, it's just not my thing. I'm straight. I'm not interested in it. That doesn't mean I find it repulsive. That's a very harsh word, Shad. And yeah, there might be a reason why you're going to say that people are calling you out for being homophobic.
Accuse me of being homophobic and saying, and I'm like, hang on. Like, how is that homophobic if you're okay with the reverse, is that gay people can very well find straight sex repulsive.
I mean, I'm sure some do, and I'm sure there's some people that find it straight people who find gay sex totally repulsive. But I think in the majority of cases, it's just, it's just not their thing. It's not like that horribly offensive to them. And I know plenty of gay people who find the female body attractive. It's just they don't want to engage with it at that sort of a level, Like, why do you think straight women go to department stores with gay men to buy perfumes and makeups and stuff? It's like, well, they share a common interest and they're not repulsed by each other. It's not that that's such a harsh word. I don't know if he just doesn't understand how harsh of a word that repulsive is. Maybe he is just trying to say like, oh, it's just not attractive. And so that was basically the tipping point in this video. I don't think there's anything else we need to see in this one. So you might remember how I said that I had seen a red flag from Shad before. So let's talk about something else here. So this is already enough reason for me to unsub on just a moral level. I think it's morally wrong to hate gay people, even if your religion tells you to. And we're going to go into his religion here in a moment, because as I said, let's do Shadiversity, Buried Sword of Jericho. I don't know if I spelled that right. So this was a video he made a while ago. Oldest steel sword in the world, the Sword of Jericho. Then he had to make a reply video to it because he got in trouble for it. And why did he get in trouble? Well, this is a sword that has a strong role in the Mormon faith. He is a believer in the Mormon religion, Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints, which that alone I find kind of strange. I didn't know that was actually a thing outside of the United States, because the whole point of like Mormonism is to kind of like Americanize Christianity. It's a belief system based on the idea that Jesus Christ was reborn in America. And you might be wondering, okay, so why am I bringing this up? People are allowed to believe what they want to believe. Well, if you don't disagree with Shad on a moral level, you need to understand what Mormons believe. And once you do, you're going to realize that maybe you shouldn't be taking historical advice from someone who believes what they believe. So let's look at what Mormons actually believe. This is an animation that the Mormons themselves made to inform people about what their religion is about. And some of this stuff, it doesn't matter. I'm going to move on to what does matter here. All right, so this is a big one, and it kind of goes into the moral thing a little bit more. Well, just
be
listen.
denied bodies of flesh and bone. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race. The spirits that fought most valiantly against Lucifer would be born into Mormon families on planet Earth.
Okay. Mormons believe that black people are neutral in the battle against good and evil. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's move on. Jesus has like 3 wives instead of just 1. That's why Mormons can take more than 1 wife. And then here we go. Here's like the historical problem.
Mormon, after his resurrection, Jesus came to the Americas to preach to the Indians, who the Mormons believe are really Israelites. Thus, the Jesus of Mormonism established his church in the Americas as he had in Palestine. By the year 421 AD, the dark-skinned Indian Israelites, known as Lamanites, had destroyed all of the white Nephites in a number of great battles. The Nephites' records were supposedly written on golden plates and buried by Moroni, the last living Nephite in the hill Cumorah.
So Mormons believe there was a white civilization here before the American colonists came over. There's 0 evidence that this civilization ever existed. And of course, it has racist undertones of like the Indians being evil and killing off the white race that was here. So yeah, there's the whole moral side, which is very problematic. And I'm not even like, but wow, there's some bad stuff here. And like I said, maybe he doesn't believe some of these parts, but Chad, if you want to come talk to me, if you see this video and you're like, you want to address these problems, I'm happy to talk to you. And we can maybe clarify some things, but this is what the Mormon religion is based on. Can you take advice about medieval history from someone who believes something as wild as this? Like, this is like Scientology levels of wild. That's all I wanted to talk about. Like I said, if he was just a little bit conservative, I don't care. If he did a pretty good job of hiding it on Shadiversity, but it's coming out now on Night's Watch, and I do kind of wonder if the reason his channel wasn't doing well is because people are realizing this and maybe not watching him as much as they used to. Because I know I'm sure unsubscribed at this point. And I really think you should too. Like I said, if Shad wants to come on, clarify the things he believes, maybe we can have a discussion about what the word repulsive means. Maybe we'll be able to hash something out here, but until then, I'm sorry that we had to have this discussion. Hope y'all have a better day than I am.